dated April 3rd, 2019.
Okay, roll call, please.
Freckman.
Here.
Golodowski.
Here.
Hall.
Here.
Kirsch.
Here.
McCombs excused. McDonald.
Here.
Oberstadt's excused. O'Connor.
Here.
Slawinski. Smith.
Here.
Sorensen.
Here.
Okay, very good. Item number 2, approval of the minutes of the 6th of March, 2019.
I'll move.
I second.
Second, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, item number 3, update of Willett Arena renovation.
In front of everybody,
This is it?
the schedule there, the construction. I'll let you know the press box has started already. They started disassembling the press box because we'll be adding on to the existing press box. The glass has all been removed from the ice rink. We were able to get rid of all of it.
Good.
We couldn't sell it. Nobody wanted it. It was tempered glass. You couldn't do anything with it. So we put it on Facebook and we were able to get rid of all of it.
Great.
So that worked out.
Is somebody that's got a rink using it, or?
No, it's just individual people
Oh,
coming.
great.
So one guy today picked up 15 sheets. It's for his, lights for his barn.
Oh,
Because he's gonna
great.
custom cut the sides of it and then put it in, so.
Cool.
The plastic on the dasher boards, Crate has that 3D printer, and they were looking for recycled plastic. So they're coming tomorrow. They were looking for volunteers with people with trucks and drills to take the screws off, and then that plastic, what they'll do is cut it into pieces, and then they melt it in the 3D printer, and they make different things out of from the printer. So some of that will be recycled, hopefully as many sheets as we can. After that, it'll all be just disposed of. So that, if the easiest thing, I suppose, is to look on the left-hand side, right below the green construction. And it'll say, it starts April 8th, dasher removal. You can see they budgeted 5 days for that. The mechanical, they're in there right now removing the Freon and the oil. We will get a credit back for the Freon too, so we're selling that. When they remove it, we'll be getting credit back for it. The ice rink floor, the concrete, April 15th is the start date. That's not listed on here when they'll start cutting the concrete. They'll get it cut. It'll stay that for a while until they get the compressors and get everything into the Zamboni room. And then after that point, they'll start removing the concrete floor. Refrigeration equipment's been ordered. It should be here the middle of April. You can see there's some work on the Zamboni melt pit. When they built the rink, the pit was never large enough to put all the snow in when we resurfaced. A lot of times we had to take it outside. So now the pit's going to be made a little bit larger, and we're going to use some of the heat from the cooling or the refrigeration system. It comes back hot, and that'll be in there in a cycle in to cool or to melt the ice that's going to be in the pit. So that'll speed it up. So that's another way we're going to reclaim some of the heat. Then there's some roof work. You can see we have to put a new chilling tower on the roof, so they'll be cutting into the roof and fixing that and repairing that late April, early May. Then you can see the rink floor, probably start around the 20th, the demo hopefully, and that'll go through into June. The construction of the floor, that's the pouring of the concrete and all the pipes and all the tile. That'll start around June 5th. It'll go to the 10th when they get everything put in, and then start pouring the concrete around August 11th and finish up about August 9th, I think, 10th, and then start up the compressors. And so everything, hopefully if everything stays on schedule, we'll be ready to go when we open the first part of September.
Mm-hmm. On this, there's several of these things that they have listed as critical. So in other words, these are things that if it doesn't work out for the timing, it would affect our ability to operate.
And that Bob's talking over on the flow chart where the red is critical. Those are things that they have to meet critical deadlines by.
Okay.
Is that building going to be usable during when the football season starts in August then? So everything is all right for them?
Yeah. They'll have to, once they cut the floor and start laying the concrete, they'll go in and start cleaning again because they have to, there's going to be dust all over everywhere.
What is the floor made of? What was it made of?
Concrete.
Oh, just concrete.
It's 5-inch thick concrete reinforced steel.
I was thinking of, you know, former people that used to skate there and everything.
Yeah.
Would love to have a little piece of the floor.
Well, I know the Sisters of Ice are interested in doing the roller derby in there. In the past, they couldn't do it because on the summer, we always had to tear the floor up to fix the leaks. So they couldn't do it. Now, next year, they were looking to come back again, and then they could run that in the summer in there.
Yeah, that'd be a good use.
Tom, do they have any time built in here to test everything, put a sheet of ice down before they open? Or are we just gonna get everything done and keep our fingers crossed?
Yeah, there's about 2 weeks in there.
Okay.
What kills us is the fact that the concrete has to cure for 28 days. So that's why there's a 2 weeks, if they can get ahead of schedule, it'll give us more time at the end.
Okay.
So, and we've been meeting, once it gets started, they're gonna meet every Thursday, I think, at 1 o'clock. Just construction meetings, updating everybody, keep it flowing.
Liz?
I just wanted to comment that I had the opportunity to go to the UWSP championship games on the Friday and Saturday night, and the rink looked really good, and knowing all the problems we've been having with the floor and everything else, things went really well. So Tom, you and your staff should be really proud of everything that you pulled off that weekend.
Yeah, I mean, the rink staff was unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know, to get the boards wrapped and get everything in less than a week. Because we actually had to put the logos in the ice. So they came in at night and had to cover up the existing logos, so they had to shave the ice down, put the logos in, and then build it back up.
Yeah.
So
It-
there was a lot of work
amazing, so
involved.
please
Yeah.
really pass our congratulations on to them.
So, I think that's it for the Willet, if there's any other questions.
Is the renovation only on the rink, or is it all the seating and?
No, just the rink, the refrigeration system, the rink floor, the boards, glass, and the press box.
Cool.
Yeah, and thank you, Tom, for getting this done before you retired.
Yeah.
Because who knows how long it would have been otherwise, so hooray.
Tom, can I just ask, what is the recycled glass? What is it? Is it polypropylene or what?
The glass, it was
Yeah.
tempered glass. It was a 5/8 to a 1/2 inch tempered glass. There were 3 by 5 sheets of glass, the plexiglass, or not plexiglass, tempered glass. I thought originally we could recycle it through Gary's Glass or somebody, but it's tempered glass and they can't cut it.
But you said there were some that was recycled.
The plastic
The
boards,
plastic.
there's
Plastic.
plastic on the dasher, on the wood, that's getting recycled.
Right.
Hopefully as much as they can.
Okay, so what kind of
It's the
plastic?
type 2. It's a white plastic, probably quarter inch
High-density
thick.
polyethylene.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, originally, they were using milk jugs for their process. This would, they can get a lot more of it and stack it, so.
Okay, I guess item number 4, the update on the cultural commons.
This will be quick. I talked to Jim Anderson from Ellis Construction. He said they plan on starting April 15th on Cultural Commons. He said they'd be done by Memorial Day. So I reminded him that there's a big dirt hill and we have Riverfront Rendezvous and we need grass growing, and he said there shouldn't be a problem. So hopefully the weather starts cooperating and they can get back in there and get started on that.
Okay, what are they doing? What is the construction down there right now?
Right now, they've got the holes dug and pretty much a footing in, and I think a couple pylons for, I think, where the bell goes, and that's it, and a lot of storage of supplies.
Liz?
I've noticed that they've got a lot of sandstone laid in like a wall, but is that gonna be loose, or is that gonna be, is there gonna be concrete in there? Do you know, is that gonna be just loose stacked like that? mean, it
No,
looks
I
like
think
it was
I think
pieced.
it's the walkways and different things with the sandstone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's not a retaining wall or something?
No,
Oh,
it's all piled there right now.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
Okay, item number 5, the
Directors.
historic director's last report. Unless he wishes to cancel his retirement
Yeah.
plan.
Zenith Park is open. We had 2 softball games there last night. Spash played. Bucol Park, there's supposed to be a game tomorrow night there. We'll see if it doesn't rain. Gerke Track is open and the tennis courts are open, so we are able to get them all open a little earlier than normal because the weather cooperated. So let's just hope we don't get like it happened last year in April. The ice show was this last weekend. We had good crowds all 3 shows, so it went real well. There was like 110 participants this year, so it was about average for the ice show. We've been working a number of years with, there was a downtown plan once that showed a boat dock or a pier straight off the end of Main Street by the Arts Center. And it's just, nothing's ever happened. And it's called Downtown Point now. It used to be Downtown ADB, Association of Downtown Businesses. They've been fundraising and they would like to put a pier in. It's just, it would go straight out pretty much where the Arts Center is. They would be responsible for building it, repairing it. The only responsibility we would have would be putting it in the spring and taking it out in the fall. What they're hoping is that this will generate people that are on the river that want to stop and go downtown to get something to eat, can pull in, tie their boat up, go downtown and leave. That's the hope. It'll probably hold like 3 or 4 boats probably. It's just straight out. And then they're talking about possibly a kayak launch too there. There's one in Wausau. It's somebody, if you're disabled, you can put your kayak here and go out on the pier and be able to get in a kayak. They were talking about that too. So, but they're still in the fundraising part about it right now. So it could happen this spring, it could happen this summer, it could happen this fall.
What was the group again?
Downtown Point, the old Association of Downtown Businesses.
Okay.
They have a new name now.
Okay.
So, and the gentleman who's building it is the same one that built the docks at Bucol for us. And speaking of that, there's now a handicapped accessible pier just south of the Bucol Beach. The Prime Water Anglers put that in the fall. We just have to put the handicapped accessible walk to it. That way, if somebody wants to, in a wheelchair, fish on the river, they can actually get to the river now and fish.
Great idea.
And they paid for all of that too, the Prime Water Anglers. If you don't know, Nature Trek is for sale. He's got a sign up down there.
Oh.
Dino's been trying to sell that for a couple of years now. I've had 2 people come into my office and talk about it. As recently as yesterday, somebody came in who was very serious about purchasing it, was going to get back to me either today, which he didn't, or tomorrow about it. He asked about the contract or our agreement with Dino, and I said nothing would change. It's a good agreement. The rental fees would stay the same. I said, as the Park Commission just likes to see the buildings used and services offered that are kayaking, canoeing, and park-related uses. He also wants to run programs out of there. In the past, Dino ran programs out of there, and we charged 15% or whatever his fee was. This gentleman was going to have 2 separate things. He's going to have his business running, and then he wanted to run a nonprofit thing to run programs. And he asked if it was nonprofit, would we consider waiving the fee to keep the cost down? And I said it would have to go back to the park board. If it's truly a legitimate nonprofit organization, we could look into it, I said. They would consider it. No, similar to Little League and the rest of them that run, programs for kids and keep the cost down. So,
Does anybody have any idea how financially sound that operation was these last several years?
I don't know. I gave the gentleman yesterday the information Dino gives us every year, his report, how much concession he sold and stuff like that. So that should help him. And then I think Dino, he'll have to get, books from Dino too.
That's really, I tell you, it's really an asset to the park to have that there. I mean, the whole city,
Yeah,
really.
it
because
is, right.
People can do the kayak and canoe trips and rent the bikes. I mean, it's,
So we get a lot of phone calls for people, for the kayaks and canoes and stuff. The next thing, there's a handout in front of you, the Polish plaque. It's the same group that worked on the World War I presentation at the Historical Society. As they were working on that, they found out the information about the Polish regiment that started here and was in World War I and formed it here and went over there and fought the war and then went on. They would like to put a plaque next to McLaughlin there in the Polish Heritage Park there. And this is kind of the verbiage they were looking for in some pictures explaining this group of Polish immigrants that went back to Poland to fight during the war and stuff like that. So, and it'll be done through Smeekley Reserve like the rest of them we have. So I think it would be a good addition to that area. And it's just, and McLaughlin's there and the statue and everything, and it's just more of the Polish history of the Stevens Point area. And I've been working with Sue Kale on it. And they'll raise all the money and they'll pay for everything.
So you've seen the concept and what it would
Yes.
look like, and like you said, like the ones from Schmeekley, so I don't want us to get stuck with something that
No.
might not look good.
Actually, everybody who wants to put something in the park, it's the same ones like down along the riverfront
Yeah.
with that same concept, that same look. So
Yeah.
there's some continuity. It'll be exactly like the one we put in Grant Park, because Smeekley did that one too.
Nice.
So. Playground equipment at Piffner will probably, that's in the budget, but we talked about putting it in after 4th of July. We just don't want to take any chances digging that up right before the 4th if something happens and it doesn't get in, so we'll just wait till after the 4th. The majority of the trees in the city now have been platted on GIS, so Todd's been working on that, so we'll have all the trees platted soon. Spring planting, we're working with Eagle Construction, or Eagle doing 18 trees, University 14, and then our crews will plant the rest, which will probably be about 60, 70 more after that. True Green is going to inject about 270 trees this summer and spring for emerald ash borer. And the last thing I had is we're still looking for seasonal people. I think Todd had 5 people apply for forestry, so there were more this year for parks. So going from $9.48 an hour to $11 an hour may have helped, but we're still short looking for people. So, and that was all I had.
Well, Tom?
Wait a second, did I miss something here? Nope.
Okay.
That was-
Something I noticed on the city website, and Tom's off the hook this year, of course, but I know the mayor is looking for donations for fireworks again for the 4th of July, so if anybody has or wants to make a donation for the fireworks, that would be great. He's trying to raise an additional $5,000 above what's already budgeted, so it's kind of a nice thing. It's probably one of the biggest turnouts we have for anything in the community is to go down for fireworks, so encourage you to bring your $20 or $50 or whatever you want to donate down there.
Yeah, he's got a GoFundMe account too.
Oh, does he?
Yep, you can go right to the
Okay.
GoFundMe.
Yeah.
Tom, on behalf of the park board, being the oldest member here, sure like to thank you for your service
Yeah.
at Stevens Point. I mean, it's been a pleasure working with you for all of us, and I think you really added a lot to the city and the whole park and rec department. So you'll be missed.
Yeah, I'll still be around.
Okay.
No, I guess they had thanked me earlier too, and I mean, I gotta always thank the staff, because, they always, that adage, you surround yourself with good people and it's easy. That's why I had it so easy.
Oh, yeah, right.
Well, it still takes one person, to inspire them.
Oh, okay.
And,
We're glad you stuck around this
Yeah.
long.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you do thank the staff, though, they always go back to like, well, yes, but if Tom wasn't,
Yeah.
they always go back to you, so.
yeah.
Well, let's have a round of applause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I think at that point, I suppose, we could have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I second.
Second, all those in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
A video of this meeting is available for viewing on the city's website, stevenspoint.com/videos.